In this video, we've survived 100 days in survival hardcore Minecraft 1.20, and in spite of losing the world if we die, we've been digging and building with the goal of building the ultimate underground Dwarven empire. Our city will eventually be home to every farm you can think of, but today we need to make some tweaks to our current projects and made a huge promise that will be upkeeping. It's been one hell of an adventure so far, and we are going to celebrate that we've hit this milestone. So strap yourself in for a ride, because this episode, it's gonna be a killer. Our world started off just like every other Minecraft hardcore Let's Play. We got wood, we got wool, and then we went on an epic adventure to find the mountain that would become our perfect homeland for our Dwarven empire. Ooh, I see mountains. The mountains are calling me home. And so on day 2, the mountain was found, and this is where for the next 20 Minecraft days we would begin our journey of digging down deep into the mountain. And despite being weary from digging deep into the earth, it was time to head down into the mountain. So we crafted a shield and we readied ourselves for battle as we were about to reclaim our Dwarven homeland. A lot of mobs down there. Retreat! And the first battle was won, but the victory was not yet ours, as there is still a lot more to discover in this cave, but it allowed us the chance to build our first Dwarven home, and we could now turn to building our first foundations of our Dwarven empire. And with that trip down memory lane out the way, it's time to move on and get some work done. I also remembered we've actually not given this doggo a name. So if you guys want to go ahead and suggest a name in the comments, then in the next episode we will get the name tag from the mob spawner that we found and we will name Little Doggo. And it has to be something that's going to fit the theme of the whole Dwarven Let's Play. So we are currently waiting for some cobble to smelt into stone because we completely ran out building the bridge and building the library. But we're going to be revisiting some things today, and we're going to be... I almost said sprucing up. I almost said it. I don't want it to become my saying. But we are going to be working on the base, and we're going to be looking back at some of the projects that we've done so far. And we're going to go in chronological order of the way that we did them in. I will never get over how great this world looks with shaders on. First thing that we're going to be looking at in today's video is this entranceway. Now, I'm not going to be touching this archway too much, because I actually want to completely overhaul this and kind of build it up and make it just look a lot more beefier and a lot more cool. But we need to tear up this floor because we had a comment in one of the previous videos that suggested making the floor more textured and basically making it look like the bridge in the underground base, and I completely agree, so let's tear it up. Okay, so I've gone ahead and dug up all of the stone brick, and then I went and got some materials so we can now actually go ahead and start placing down this pathway. Now, the thing that I want to do is kind of make it more predominantly andesite than anything else, because we do have stone and I'm going to dot in a bit of gravel every now and then, but the andesite adds a really nice texture as a floor, so we're definitely going to make it predominantly andesite. So let's just run around and get this whole thing done. Okay, so the texture is done, but we did make a outer trim out of cobble, and I want to replace that with polished andesite because I just think it would look way cooler. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace this and see what it looks like. Okay, there's the pathway and the walkway done. It does look a lot cooler, I think. It looks a bit more natural, it looks a little bit more part of the world, and I really prefer the actual polished andesite kind of trimming to the outer path rather than the cobblestone. It makes it look a bit more polished, if you'd pardon the pun, but it makes it just look a bit more, you know, a bit more better. I think, I don't know what it is. I feel like it just, I don't know, it just feels right. I feel it in my dwarven bones. I have decided that I'm not going to be touching inside this hallway just yet, or should I call it the stairway of the Valkyrie? If you know, you know. Anyway, so as you can see, I am going to be keeping the stairway made out of the stone brick stairs and the cobble stairs as the trim. I know it doesn't mean it quite matches the pathway outside, but like I said, I want these stairs to feel a bit more grand and a bit more carved out with purpose. So we're just going to go ahead, place down these stone bricks so we can actually just get this stairway finished and move on to the next thing. The stairway is done. So I've just had a quick inspection of the stairway and had a quick run up and down, you know, to test the stairs, make sure everything's working as it should be. And I have actually decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this very soon. Basically, the way that I've kind of got this planned out in my head is, in the next episode, we're going to be working on the super smelter. And I think that's when we get that complete, I think the first thing we do is we smelt all the cobble that we've got into stone. And then we come back and we rebuild this entranceway and we make it look cool. So that's what we're going to do. So on to the next project. But the next project I want to quickly work on before moving on and getting some other stuff done today is this sort of entrance area. We're hanging around here a lot, and I kind of like the idea of having this kind of grass in this upper section. And I actually feel like I want to make sort of it all up in that upper section as well to be dirt on the ground, just to kind of fit the whole farming theme. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to make this a pathway area like so. So what we'll have is we'll have this squared off pathway that kind of comes across here and comes right up to the stairway. First we're going to build this, then we're going to move on to the stairs. So let's just get this path laid. I have an idea. I'm going to time-lapse this, and I'm going to do what I've got in my head, and then we're going to see what it looks like. What do you think? What do you think? Doesn't it look cool? And I even did this, like, little, like, archway thing, where the sort of archway of the door is going to be, and kind of connecting it up to the pillar that's kind of supporting the bit above. So this is going to be like a built-up archway eventually, and this whole side is kind of going to be built up and hidden with some blocks and stuff. But this is going to serve as the purpose as the stairway down to, you remember the skeleton farm that we spawned that we found down there, the skeleton spawner that we found down there. This is going to prove as I'm going to build a walkway that goes kind of around here, and then that's going to be the stairway that goes down to the spawner, which we'll use as an XP farm. But guys, I have a huge surprise for you, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to make a very quick jump cut, and you're going to be, trust me, you're going to be impressed. You're going to be impressed. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Come on, that deserves a like. Come on, the Mike James has discovered color. Come on, that deserves a like. That deserves to give the video a like. I have put some color in our world finally. If you're not familiar and you haven't watched the other episodes, basically, I have been allergic to colors in this world. Like, literally, that brown is the first other color that we put in this build so far. Everything else has just been grey. But that is going to change. I want to try and make this kingdom look really lush and green, as well as, like, green and greys is kind of what we're going for. And I really just wanted to make a start and show you guys that I'm serious about changing. Look, I know I can change. You just have to give me, you just have to give me the time to change, okay? I can change. It's not you guys, it's me. But yeah, so I'm really chuffed with the way that this stairway now looks. It kind of looks like it's been purposefully built as part of the world rather than just carved out. And that's kind of what I want for the whole series, is I want to make everything look built and carved out like it's got a purpose. So the next thing on the agenda is we have to go to the base. We have to put all of our stone in the box because we're not going to need it for a short while. And we're also going to need our bucket back. And unfortunately, we decided to pick up an axolotl. Look how adorable he is. So what we'll do is we'll just make like a little 2-block deep hole. And just hope to God that he can't get out. You can stay there for a while, little guy, because we need the bucket back because we've got work to do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly get rid of 8 or so blocks here and plant the potatoes. Then eventually what we're actually going to do is we're going to replace the first row with potatoes, and then eventually we'll redecorate this whole place. But we now have potatoes growing, which is fantastic. But that's not what we came up here just to do. We are creating a meadow type area. I'm going to build a waterfall that comes out of here, comes down, and then kind of gets veered off like through where the sheep are now, and then it spills over the edge and falls down and becomes a big feature in the very beginning area of the base. Now, we're not going to get all of that done in this particular episode, but we are going to go and carve out the area where the water's going to come from, because we're going to redesign this entire paddock. So let's just time-lapse this quick digging out and making of the area, and then I'll talk you through the plan. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've actually built an area where we can grow some kelp and some sugarcane. Now, the way that I've actually gone about and done this, just so we can talk about how this works, is basically the dwarves have built an irrigation pipe system which comes off and waters all of these crops over here, and that pipe comes from over there. And then what they've also done is tapped into the water source here, where the water irrigation system comes underground, comes round in a circle, comes here, and then because we haven't invented physics in this world yet, magically the water somehow just manages to go up, come round, and then come out of this pipe here, which then falls into this area where we're going to go ahead and we're going to plant some kelp to start growing, and we'll just have to come up and manually sort of dig this up with our hands and just replant it and just keep the bottom one growing. And then all we're going to do is just quickly run around and put the sugarcane down. And we've got about 40 blocks of sugarcane, I believe. I might be a little bit off. But we don't have enough to actually fill the whole thing. So all I'm going to do, first and foremost, is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and just put some torches on the side there. Add a bit more light in the area just so they will grow as quickly as possible. And all I'm going to have to do is just try and remember to come back as often as possible over the next couple of episodes to dig up the sugarcane, expand the farm, and start getting a backlog, because we're going to need it for making paper so that we can trade with the villagers, which takes us on to our next part of the video. Well, I actually did intend to get on with the video and move on to the next part, but as I just was about to start recording for the next section, I realised we're going to need beds. And unfortunately, we can't shear the sheep, because if I show you, and some of you have already clocked on, if I find my shears, they're already in my hotbar, good job Mike, and we head in here, and we shear the sheep. Now, we actually need to get 12 pieces of wool, because we're going to need 4 beds. But we've only got 7, and now the issue is these sheep won't actually regrow their wool until they eat grass, and the grass is not too long off spreading, but it's just taking its sweet times. Okay, we've had our lunch, and we're coming back to see if the dirt has spread enough, and it has. Oh, this is amazing. This means we can actually get rid of this dirt, and the sheep can finally feed. I also realised that the sugarcane would grow as well whilst we were taking a break, so we can go ahead and harvest the sugarcane and replant. Well, it only took about an extra 15 minutes of waiting, but we're finally getting sheep regrowing the wool. It was only like 2 more bits. This is gonna take a while. What's going on in here then? I just saw a sheep walk in here and I was like, are they having a secret sheep meeting? The sheep are rising up. They are conspiring against the dwarves. War is brewing. Another sheep all ready to shear. I was going to say smear then. Don't want to be smearing sheep, I'm telling you. Finally have enough wool. We can make amends. We can make a move on our next project. Okay, so it is time, some of you may have guessed, to get the villager breeder done. Yep, that's our next project, and I've actually gone ahead and dug out the small hole where it's going to be. Now, the villager breeder that I'm going to be using is a design from YouTube that I used in my old world, and I'm building it here for a few reasons. One, because I'm super lazy. Two, all the villagers that grow up are going to be, first and foremost, be put into the library area, and then the cleric trading area on top of that. And then after that, it's going to be the iron farm, and I don't know whereabouts I'm going to put the iron farm. So the first thing we're going to want to put down is some slabs. Place down a fence in between the slabs. Then you're going to need your 4 beds, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stand on one of the slabs and place down the bed with the pillow hanging off the thin air. Then you want to go to the next one, place down the bed, next one, place down the bed. Then what you should have is 4 beds with a pillow going in like one direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter, just as long as it works like so. The next bit you're going to want to do is where the carpet comes in, and all you're going to want to do is place down carpets over the head sections by shift right clicking on each one like so. Then we want to come out and place down 4 trapdoors over the other section of the bed, but instead of actually placing them down willy-nilly, you actually need to come to the edge and kind of make sure that you're placing them down so that they open. I actually just ended up going around and placing blocks and then just placing them by going, you know, in from the outside like so, and then placing them down. It just made life easier. And that's basically it. This is now officially the villager breeder complete. However, as you may have noticed, once we actually get the villagers in here and the babies pop out and they drop down, they're just going to drop into a little hole and there's nowhere for them to go. Well, do I have a surprise for you. If you've seen The Lord of the Rings, I'm sure you'll remember this clip by Gimli in the second film when he's trying to explain where dwarves come from.
And the dwarfs just spring out of holes in the ground.
But that's exactly what we're going to do. What I think will be a funny and hilarious nod to The Lord of the Rings is we make a system where the babies drop down and then water takes them along a short route, and then where they wait to grow up from a baby to an adult, because a baby is only 1 block in size, and then as they grow up into an adult, they should start jumping and swimming in the water. And if we have water at head height, what they should do is when they grow up is they should start going up the chute, and then they should pop out of a hole in the ground. So the way that I see this working is we're going to have to build up the sides just so the water doesn't spill out here, and place down some blocks behind. Then when the babies fall, they'll straight away get pushed down here, and then there's nowhere for them to go because they can't go back upstream because they'll just get pushed again back here. So this actually worked out way better than I anticipated. Okay, so in order to actually allow the villagers to come all the way up, I had to place a block and stop it with signs. I tried a few different things. I tried buttons, and I tried, what else did I try? I tried carpets, but it just kept breaking it off and the water kept going down here. So all we need to do is just make a bunch of stone brick, and then we'll just make a Very, very basic area where we know that the center is there because we can tell by the post. That looks terrible, but we're gonna leave it for now. Okay, I can't just leave that. That looks absolutely dreadful. I'm gonna need to... I actually want to make it look as if it fits in with the library. So we're gonna take 2 seconds and we're gonna decorate this and I'll be back. Okay, so it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but I have made it so that it fits more in, ties more in, sorry, with the actual library design. Okay, now it's time to get the 2 villagers over there, so let's get the villagers over to the breeder. Hello? Hello? There's one in, now just to go and get the second one. I was just heading up to see if it was turning nighttime, and it is. So, in theory, all we need to do is just knock this villager out of the boat. I am going to dig this out just so we can actually see what's going on before we cover it up. Now, in theory, fingers crossed, all I should need to do now is sleep, and this should be working. Oh my god, come on, come on, come on, come on, please, 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 please. Yay! They're in the middle. It's worked. So now all we have to do is feed them potatoes and they should start breeding. So let's throw you over there and then throw you over there and hopefully they'll share the potatoes with each other. And I am watching. Yes, a baby fell down and now all we have to do is just come down here. And then the baby should get pushed into there where he's going to survive for as long as he needs. And then in theory, as soon as he grows up, oh, okay, that was not the intended design. But we have our first ever villager, and that is fantastic because that means that the villager farm is officially working. So all we need to do now is wait. Oh, okay. We're going to need to change this design up, I think, because I completely forgot that villagers can use doors. Okay, we're going to need to, yep, we're going to need to change you up. Yeah, I'm going to need to rethink my strategy here. And then we can just use this stairway to get out. I think that's going to be the best route forward for now until we can sort of build this up and change it and do all the bits that we need to do. But we are moving on very quickly through this video. We're making much faster progress than I anticipated today. I'm going to just go and clear my inventory because the next job is we're going to go and birth some chickens. And we're going to need to kill Bill for a particular reason, which I'm not going to disclose just yet, but we'll put the iron in there for now because we don't need it. Okay, before we can get to the next section of the video, we are going to need some wood. So we're going to have to go and collect some more wood so that we can start building the things that we need. Okay, this is where my stupidity shines through, okay? Like, I just totally didn't realize that as it grows, it turns the water block into a... I mean, I knew it turned the water block into a solid block because it's how you make water elevators, and I did it in my old world. But it just completely skipped over me, and now the whole thing's kind of gone skew with. Well, we finally made our first set of paper in the world. Now, unfortunately, I completely forgot that we needed to breed the cows in the background whilst we were waiting and doing all the other projects. So, unfortunately, we still need to breed cows, and we don't really have... We've got one piece of leather so we can make a single book. So there we are. We now have a single book towards our new project. But we also are going to take this time to kill Jerry the chicken. Yes, that's right, guys. We are killing the chicken. So if you don't want to see a chicken die, look away now. There we are. We now have a feather. And this is all for a reason. We've got enough eggs now where we can reproduce the chickens with no issues. So we can go up and build some basic chicken coop type things in our animal pen. But for now, all we need to do... Wait, is it... Oh, do we need ink as well? Wait, do I have ink? I found a squid. Get him. Da, 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 da. Did I get his sack? And we're back at our crafting bench where we can make a book and quill. Now this is super important because this is going to be used for something that's coming up very, very shortly, so don't go anywhere. See, on a previous video, somebody said to me, you can't have claimed your homeland because you never planted a flag. Well, I say to you, good sir, consider it claimed. It might be the flag of surrender, but we have claimed it, okay? I'm sure you can trap Endermen in boats. Do you know what? This is getting too risky and my heart is already racing. I think I'm going to leave him alone. I just wanted to try and see if I could kill him to start our Ender Pearl collection, but I really don't think it's that important right now. I really don't want to end my world. Since I've just fed the cows and I'm waiting for them to reset, I thought I'd actually take the opportunity to go around and do a little job that I wanted to do since I built this bridge. Da-da-da-da! How much better does that look already? I mean, it's only a minor detail, but I really think it is the minor details that are really going to make this world like what it is. But we're just going to go and check on the villager. See, the baby is no longer there, so in theory... Yay! It works as fully intended, so we now have 2 adult villagers. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with that. Oh! I was just pressing record. Where are these creepers coming from? 2 creepers. Oh my god. My hairs are standing up on end. Where did they come from? That was so close. The water basically just saved our life there. That was... Oh my god, I cannot believe just how close we came there to losing everything. Oh my days. We are still waiting for cows to breed, but for the time being, I thought we would take the villager and get him to the library, and he can have a nice view whilst we wait. So yes, back in episode 1, I uploaded the first video of the series, and I'll be honest, I was not expecting the reception it got. I honestly thought, judging by how my previous season went, that my new season might get maybe 50 to 100 views per video, and I honestly thought I might get like maybe 10 subscribers per episode or something, but honestly, you guys have come in clutch. I wish I could thank each and every one of you, but as promised, I am going to put 1,000 subscribers into my world, and it should be the first 1,000 subscribers on this channel. However, some people don't have their subscriptions public, and it doesn't come through. Okay guys, it's been over an hour and a half since I actually started this, and I've finally finished, but there's some slightly bad news. So, as I was going through the list and adding each username to the book, first of all, I made a mistake, and I accidentally forgot to set it to lifetime, and I had it only over the last 90 days. So all the people that had subscribed to this channel earlier on, a year ago, when I started doing a couple of absolutely dreadful videos, didn't get any sort of shout out or mention, so I had to wipe the book and start again. So there was a waste of 25 minutes. But unfortunately, I have to go ahead and say that due to the way YouTube works, it only shows me in the list the people who have their subscriptions public. So this is actually not an official book, unfortunately, and it's made me a little bit sad because I can't give people the recognition that they deserve because they just haven't got their subscriptions public, and that's personal choice and that's not an issue. But unfortunately, it does mean that this book does not represent the true first 1,000 subscribers to the channel, as there is only about 380 names in this book. But if you've got your subscription public, you can bet that your name is in this book. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to the first 10 subscribers of this channel. The book goes on all the way, and I've typed out these names all the way to page 29, and then on page 30 we've got our unconfirmed 100th subscriber of the channel, which is Rhythm XD. And then I gave a shout out to everybody that's left such a kind comment on any of the videos, as are Luke and Dean, which is my older brother, and my amazing wife Ashley, who I love dearly. But I'm gonna go ahead and enter the book, the first book of I wanted to call it the first book of champion. I should probably go and use this on an anvil, but for now it's going in there. So all we have to do is just right click and then we can get it out again and you can read it. Okay, so I got a bit sidetracked and I kind of got myself a little bit lost on where I was up to in terms of the recording, but we have put 3 lecterns down over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about a way of securing the villagers in place that looks really, really good. Finally! Right, okay. Right. Whoa, that took a while. That did take a long time. Please understand that it is now been about 30 minutes since I started trying to get the right trade. Now, are you going to escape if I take you off there? Oh, no! I've literally just been like AFK for like 10 minutes and I went like to go and get some more paper to get some more emeralds and I still don't have enough, but they've gone and switched and I don't know why. I thought that once they've, like, I know you can lock them in by trading with them, but surely the trades shouldn't. I wouldn't normally do this, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and try and resolve this later on this evening because it is getting late. So for those that are new to the channel, I just thought I'd explain whilst I'm wrapping things up that unfortunately, due to the way that my life is at the moment, I actually only get to record this episode every Saturday. So I actually wake up at 7 AM and I actually record right up until about 7 PM or basically whenever I get the jobs done. And then I'll edit it on a Sunday, and it normally takes me about 4 hours to edit, and then I'll schedule the video before I have to then do all the housework that needs doing for the week, because throughout the actual week, I have a part-time job, I obviously have my own business, and on top of that, I've also been doing some work for a family business, which is coming to an end in the next week or so, but I do have some exciting news that I'd like to share, and that is that one of the projects that I've been working on a Tuesday and Thursday, I have been filling in for a friend that has been out of her business on maternity leave because she had a baby, whereas now her orders are quieting down because her business is more of a summer business, which means that Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be completely freed up for Minecraft content. All that basically means is that rather than just keeping it to one day, I'm going to have now 3 days to pick and choose and to be able to play the game and to be able to make progress across more days so we can get more done in each episode. Because right now, this is nowhere near where I kind of wanted it to be by the end of today's episode. I was hoping to have this area fully furnished. I was hoping to have our first enchant on our pickaxe. But unfortunately, the universe is not being that kind to us today, and it is now 6:30 in the evening, and it's also been a very warm day in the UK, like weirdly warm for this time of year, and I have sweat where sweat shouldn't be coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've been Mike James, also known as It's Me, Mickey T. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. I do read every single comment, by the way, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.